Memphis, Tennessee. It's a city with deep roots, music, culture, and history. The birthplace of the blues, the home of Stax Records, a city that shaped rock, soul, and barbecue in equal measure. But it's also a place that, like a lot of American cities, lives with two truths at once: beauty and struggle. While you've got tourists on Bill Street and barbecue joints with lines out the door, you've also got rising rents, rising interest rates, and a lot of people trying to stay afloat in neighborhoods where every bill feels like a threat, okay? And one of those neighborhoods is University Gardens Manor Apartments, located just north of Midtown. Now, you won't find it on postcards, but you will find families, people working double shifts, and the kind of paycheck to paycheck living that makes a car more than just a vehicle. It's a lifeline. So when a tow truck rolls up, yeah, tensions rise. And in this case, they exploded. Because on March 26, a repo driver came to collect a 2011 Ford Fusion on Cabana Circle and left with tire tracks on his skull. Now, let me warn you, this footage is crazy, so viewer discretion is advised. That is absolutely insane. Ran over that man's head, and neither of them checked to see if he was okay. Brandy walks up and talks to Nicholas like nothing just happened. Not even a pause. Not a single ounce of panic. Just kept directing him on how to get the car out of there. This is sick. They could have killed this man over a 2011 Ford Fusion. And let's stop right there, because we're not talking about some luxury car. This is a 14-year-old mid-sized sedan with probably a check engine light on and a few dents and scratches. Not worth dying over. Certainly not worth catching a charge for. And listen, I don't mean to hate on the Ford Fusion, okay? It's a dependable little car, great on gas, but it's not go to prison good. It's not run somebody over in the parking lot good, right? But logic wasn't invited to this situation, okay? And let's call it what it is: a violent overreaction to a predictable situation. Listen, this wasn't a setup. It wasn't some surprise ambush. These folks knew they hadn't paid their car note. And like most adults with a vehicle and a loan, they knew exactly what that leads to: repossession. In Tennessee, lenders are required by law to give you notice, and usually a short window to fix it, known as a right to cure. That means you typically get like 10 to 20 days to catch up before the tow trucks roll out, right? And after that, if the payments aren't in, you haven't made any arrangements to catch up, and the phone calls go unanswered, they're not asking anymore. They're coming for the keys and the car. Period. Game over. They don't need your permission. They don't need a confrontation. They just need your car and the driver to do his job. That's it. That's all. Here's the deal. Car repossessions are up across the country, and Memphis is no exception. Since late 2022, vehicle repos have not only bounced back from pandemic lows, they've blown past them. According to federal data, repo eligibility was at 22.5% higher in late 2022 than it was pre COVID. Translation: more people are behind on car payments, and more repo drivers are rolling into neighborhoods like University Gardens Manor. Most of the time, it's tense but uneventful. And I know some people are going to say, times are hard. People are desperate. You don't know what someone's going through. And yes, all of that may be true. But here's the thing: financial stress doesn't justify violence. Repos happen a lot, especially now. If you're behind on payments, and more people are, it sucks, but it's not personal. The driver showing up isn't your enemy. He's just the last guy in the chain. And when you respond to that with intentional harm, you're not resisting the system. You're just committing a felony. And worse, you're doing it over a car that's worth less than your legal bills will be. Now, as far as the tow truck driver, well, somehow he survived. Miraculously, he was taken to the hospital in non-critical condition with head abrasions and arm pain. Police say he had to be shaken to stay awake. Not great, but considering he was just flattened by a Ford, it's honestly incredible he's conscious at all, right? Now, photos later showed deep bruising on both sides of his head. No skull fracture somehow. And luckily for him, he's got the whole thing on camera. He was recording the repossession for the company, as a standard practice. Because in that line of work, if you don't film it, you probably don't get paid. And anyway, the next day, on March 27th, police issued a warrant for Brandy Revels, okay? And she was taken into custody the following day, along with Nicholas Ray, who was quickly identified as the male responsible for running this guy over. Now, both of them were charged with aggravated assault. Ray is the one who actually drove over someone, so he's being held on $60,000 bond. Revels is sitting on about $15,000, okay? The car, that Ford Fusion, was located shortly after on Oakmont Place and has since been towed to the city lot, presumably under much less dramatic circumstances. You might be asking yourself, what was the logic here? What was the plan, right? Most people at that point might have tried to negotiate, plead, offer cash, or just accept the fact that the car is gone, right? Instead, what we got was a two-person operation to aggressively resist a vehicle repossession by using the vehicle itself as a weapon. The fact that Ray and Revels thought this would either save the car or prevent any legal consequences is impressive in a very specific yet very delusional kind of way. You don't run over someone in broad daylight, on camera no less, and just go home. Look, Ray and Revels are scheduled to appear in court on Monday, March 31st, and again, they're charged with aggravated assault. But that's not necessarily where it ends, right? A prosecutor could and arguably should push for attempted murder, in my opinion, or at the very least, reckless endangerment with a deadly weapon, right? Because make no mistake, when you knowingly reverse a car into someone's head, you're not just trying to get away. That's not a getaway. That's a calculated act of violence. And all of this over a car. That wasn't even a new car. That wasn't even a nice car. That was a 14-year-old Ford Fusion, car worth less than some iPhones, car that you technically don't even own anymore in that moment. Make it make sense, right? This guy could have easily died. This could have easily been a homicide. It's only by the grace of God, luck, or a miracle that didn't happen. And now, Revels and Ray aren't just out of car. They're looking at felony records, possible jail time, and legal bills that'll make that car note look like pocket change. Make this shit make sense, okay? Y'all, anyway, what do y'all think about all this? Drop down in the comments and let me know what you think. Again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, bet you know now.